Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you are in your corner of the world. Ripple scores another victory over the SEC, and SHIB teases community with update. Luna reaches a new all-time high, and Crypto News Digest by you today. So, into the article here, Ripple scoring one more victory against the SEC, and according to the recent tweet by defense lawyer James K. Phelan, Ripple scored another small victory by getting that extension of time to respond to the SEC regarding redactions it made during meetings with third parties. The regulator is expected to produce the redacted documents to be accessed by Ripple lawyers today, March 30th, and Ripple's legal team will give its response on April 4th. So we'll see how that plays out today. And also, too, Ripple and GreenPeace joined forces for Curious campaign to change Bitcoin to POS. And I think if you saw the tweets that was going on yesterday with Chris Larson, I couldn't tell if he was taking that lighthearted or getting offended by all of the, basically the comments and the posts that were going on. So either which way, Chris Larson, or I should say, who's Chris Larson trying to fool? Even though the chairman of Ripple claims that the company is not involved in this campaign, their latest PR stunt is as obvious as it gets. Another multi-million-dollar attack on Bitcoin, once again using the ESG angle and a set of debunked numbers. The new thing is, Larson spent $5 million USD to bribe GreenPeace into doing his dirty work. And will the organization's reputation be strong enough to destroy Bitcoin? Whether it's intentionally to destroy Bitcoin, I'm not entirely sure, but we've all seen that when Bitcoin was running on the ledger, it was moving the smoothest and fastest that it has ever done. So it's possible to integrate, for example, Stellar already has a great deal of integration with the Bitcoin. As far as making it better and function, and it has already the hash capability as well. So something like Stellar or Ripple could be integrated, I think, as they're saying, into the protocol with Bitcoin, and it could be much more significant. But it would also create that level playing field, so that'd be interesting to see. So we'll follow that as well. And again, Ripple reports 130% yearly basis growth in Asia-Pacific transactions amid emerging use cases. RippleNet is a global blockchain-based payment solution developed by Ripple. And Brooks and Twistle, the VP and Managing Director for APAC and MENA at Ripple, highlighted in a recent interview RippleNet's success in the Asia-Pacific region while forecasting a considerably higher usage of the service in 2022. RippleNet is a global blockchain-based payment solution developed by Ripple, and the uptake of RippleNet's ODL, the on-demand liquidity service in the APAC and MENA region, has surged in response to increased demand for quick settlements and immediate access to funds. APAC reportedly is one of the fastest growing regions for RippleNet, where transactions have risen 130% year over year. So the top executives state that while remittances could continue to be a key use case for RippleNet, other emerging use cases or applications might come to the forefront, such as trade flow or treasury management. Another thing, too, if you've paid attention with the new Treasury coming out with their own asset as well, that's not necessarily based on the CBDC. Also, too, the thing that I would kind of, as an example or just a reference of the, the quick settlements and immediate access to funds, there are a lot of new investors who are coming in and they're finding an asset, whether it's passive income or whether, for example, like Fire or Strong and the different Node/Nest projects that are available out there. They're finding that once they find a specific price, I've seen it go both ways, where they were comfortable coming in when it was, over 700. And for example, Fire hitting an all-time high of around 812. And then we had Strong hitting, I believe it was 1,199, right at $1,200. And you see where the assets are now. We had, for example, Fire, to be transparent, I'm a retail investor just as anyone else and excited with the project. For those who are invested, I don't know anyone who's not excited. It's only the people who kind of missed the opportunity or chose not to get involved that are having any kind of conflict with that. But I don't know any actual investor who has. But having said that, I know a lot of people who are comfortable in the 600-700 range, and the one case it actually benefited them where there was a 10-day delay. What happens is on the exchanges, for example Binance US or I believe Coinbase and others are exactly the same. If you're doing a wire transfer or transferring from your bank into the exchange to have the funds, USD, USDT, etc., USDC, whatever your choice is to do the swaps or the transfers, whenever you bring the wire transfer, we're going to call it bringing money from your bank to the exchange, it's going to be a 10-day hold. So those who were comfortable coming in high were actually very excited and very bullish because then they were actually able to buy in low. But now a lot of the people on the opposite end who saw it hit a new low and found it within their comfort range and their budget and finance of comfort for investing, saw it low and they're frustrated now because it's already moving back up. And so that 10-day hold for them is a little bit frustrating. Having said that, the great thing with these transactions for the quick settlements and immediate access to funds, once you're already into the asset, XRP, XLM, XDC, VeChain, XRPayNet, take your pick, Fire, AVAX, whatever it is, Ethereum, Bitcoin. If you're holding that asset and you're going to convert it back, or I should say withdraw the funds back into your bank, it's instant and immediate as long as it's within your normal banking hours of your location. And I've found that to be true as well over the past few years. So, for example, my time, most banks close around 5 o'clock, give or take, maybe 6. But just say before 5 o'clock, everything is instantaneous. It's immediate. I can, transfer and go to my bank and it's there. But the trick is if it's after hours, your bank's not there to accept the wire, transfer, it's usually going to be the next immediate day by 8 a.m. as long as it's a Monday through Friday weekday, especially here in the USA, in America. So other countries, you may have banks that are open, but typically it's like a Monday through Friday, a weekday thing. And it's like, typically in your area, like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But within that time, as it says, quick settlements and immediate access to funds, you benefit as well, not just asset to asset, but even asset back to your bank. And some people will still need, the cash or the availability to have fiat and currency in their of their nation, of their country, to be able to pay their bills and to be able to, buy groceries, etc. Even though it is available for a lot of assets to be available on the crypto card. And, having said that, I think it's crypto.com has one. I think Coinbase has one. I know XRPayNet is actually coming out with one, and that's another great one. To where, many people said, they invested into crypto to never, exit out of crypto or to never have to sell it, just to hold that permanently. And those options like that make that a true life availability, an option that you can hold those cards and you can fill it full of your asset, and then you can go and use it at retail like you would your normal Visa or MasterCard. I think, Discover and American Express as well. But I think Visa obviously is probably a favorite, and MasterCard, many of them, because you're already connected to Ripple and Stellar, both either direct or indirectly, you know what I mean? And we've discussed that since the beginning of the show back in 2019. Also, too, what I wanted to discuss is Ripple sets its fixed goal price as it restarts the official Bullion purchases. Now, this is really what I want to highlight. If you're interested in, the entire article, as always, feel free to click the links below, or I should say in the links in the description below, because we do provide those for every single video for day one. I'm not even sure where we're at now. I believe it's over 800 plus videos that you can catch up on. But starting this week, the Russian central bank will pay a fixed price of 5,000 rubles, basically $52 per gram, between March 28 and June 30th, the bank said on Friday. And this is below the current value of around 68 USD. But what I find interesting is because of, what we've shared for the past 20, 21, 22, past 3-ish years, is how, we were going back to the gold standard. And even recently we reiterated, in case you missed it, and refreshed and played with Judy Sheldon saying she would like to go back to the gold standard, even in a cryptocurrency way. So that's what you're starting to see all around the world. And Stellar was one of the first we talked about, even back in 2019, the beginning of this channel. We talked about other things longer, but that's how long this channel has been around. So that's what my reference is, even though between myself and other influencers or other investors globally, we've seen a lot of these things happening since even 2015-ish plus. So it's very exciting for me to see this, because that was something I mentioned we were doing, whether it was, we've already shown how Stellar has assets backed by gold, or assets are built on Stellar backed by gold. And so we've explained how that could be another option, even back in 2019 for assets like XRP. There was a lot of hate from the maxis, but again, I think, they're short-sighted. They don't entirely look at the big picture. I've never been a trader. I've never been here for like small investments. I was always here for like the generational wealth, as many of you are. And it wasn't so much for anything of me. It's just like, as a parent, I have 4 kids, and many of you have children as well, or looking to have them. The biggest thing that we want as parents is for our children to do better. So the investments many of us have made here have been to, benefit the children, so we can, give them a better future than, or a better life than we had for their future. So again, it's very exciting to me. It's very fun. I love all of the different tech rules. Actually, when I met my wife, I was working in IT. She's an RN, obviously. So building, like hub rooms and installing the Cat 5, Cat 6, and the all different fiber optics and connecting those, and that's when I bumped into her. So little history there. And it's very exciting. So I truly do love the tech side as well as the investment side. Everyone loves to make money. That's why we're here. Otherwise, none of us would be here. So again, I recently had a discussion where, because even, I was living out in Los Angeles working in Orange County, and I was working for a company called iLink. And back then, they said basically the FaceTime wasn't even available until the technology of like cell phones, your smartphones, etc. But that's not true, because even, mid 80s to 90s, we had that capability for a long time, even on landlines, which they said wasn't even possible, but it's been around for a while. So that was a very cool thing for me to see how that played out and into the new technology. But again, even with iLink, a thing that we had, it was probably, 2x2 or maybe a 3x3 inch square. So as long as on either end of the call, you both had the landline, like the phone, the phone itself, back when you had cords on your phone, you could sit there and put it on speakerphone and look at the speaker, and both of you, as long as you both had the phone on either end of the landline, we had FaceTime, way back then in the mid 90s, even all the way up to 1997, if I'm not mistaken, is when iLink was even bought by Lucent Technologies. And if you understand anything about that, then you know who Lucent Technologies is. So they kind of bought the company and then kind of bagged the project so that it could come out in the cell phone era. But either which way, I didn't mean to go long on the little history there and the little discussion. It's just been fresh. And also, too, a quick shout out to the XR Doge people. They invited me on as a guest to their show yesterday, Alex and Victoria, and it was very pleasant. It was a great conversation. I think they're going to be releasing the little interview conversation on their video podcast over the next few days. I think they just released the one they did with Jordan Harry, I believe today or last night. So haven't had a chance to catch that, but I will. And guys, remember, this is not financial advice, but lately I've had a lot of discussions, so I'm trying to make sure, I try to share those with you as well, of my opinion on stuff. I've kind of kept my opinion to myself as much as I could from the beginning of the channel, but after so long, it gets really hard to just only zip through the news, because there's a lot that I feel needs to be expanded upon. I never, hyped anything. There was things I'm excited about that I saw coming, that I, was very excited myself. So I try to stay pretty level-headed for you guys, give you the fact, let you make up your own mind, and not, offend your intelligence. And I believe, as I do, I love just to see the news, because I understand how it connects to my investment. I know a lot of you do the exact same way, and I know a lot of people need it kind of opened up and pointed out for them as well. There's all different types of, personalities out there. Some are hands-on, some are book smart, book training. We kind of all fit in together, and we're all on this journey together. So I'm trying to find a great middle ground and make everyone as happy as I can. But as this saying goes, and the song itself goes, you can please some people sometime, but you can't please all the people all the time. And with that, guys, we're going to go into our final thought. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. Much love, and we will catch you in the next one.